On the news tonight, Nigerians berate federal government over electricity workers' strike. Governors blast Malami over $418 million Paris Club refund. Or should create dump sites across local government areas. Chinese troops set for military exercise in Russia. Good evening, welcome to the major reports. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. Nigerians have berated the federal government for allowing electricity workers to down tool and put the country in total darkness, leading to loss of about 3 billion naira. Those who spoke with OSBC News called on the government to learn how to prioritize workers' interests by initiating dialogue to forestall future strike action. Our reporter, Oluwatobiloba Odunuga, now reports.
Electricity is as essential as the air as it stimulates economic activities in the country because virtually every economic growth is tied to it. For developing nations, the need for reliable and affordable energy is more fundamental. It can improve and even save lives. In these countries, reliable energy supports expanding industry, modern agriculture, increased trade, and improved transportation. Today, life without adequate electricity supply and other basic amenities such as good road network and adequate security, among others, is almost impossible. Workers at the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, embarked on a warning strike, which threw the country into total darkness and grounded business activities, although the strike was later suspended for 2 weeks following a meeting with the Federal Minister of Labour and Employment, Dr. Chris Ngige. But the money lost to the action was projected to about 3 billion naira. Speaking on this development, some analysts, including Dr. Adekunle Animashaun, Mr. Morufo and Sani, maintain that the federal government should not always wait for workers to always embark on industrial actions before listening to their demands.
It is unfortunate that Nigeria has found itself in these present circumstances. But we saw it coming because our economy has been on the decline for a very few years now.
Conscious leaders shouldn't have allowed that to happen. If for few hours of power outage that threw the whole country into darkness, we lost 3 billion naira. You can imagine the colossal loss that Nigeria have been experiencing in the past on daily basis.
Tido urged the federal government and other stakeholders to intensify their efforts and stand up to their responsibilities so as to improve the status of the nation's economic growth. This, they say, would help Nigeria as a nation get out of its current challenges.
We will only urge government to prioritize its activities because when you allow workers, particularly workers that work in critical sectors of the economy, it will affect our national development.
Power is very important. Transportation is very important. Without those two things, there can't be development. And that is why we are where we are today.
Nigerians are hopeful that the issues would have been resolved before the 2-week suspension elapsed. Oluwa Tobiloba Odunuga, reporting for OSBC News.
The Nigerian Governors Forum has averred that the Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami's insistence on paying of $418 million to contractors is fraudulent, self-serving, and not in the public interest. The NGF chairman, Governor Kayode Fayemi of Ekiti State, gave the Governors Forum position while reading the communique issued at the end of the meeting held at the State House of Abuja, where they deliberated on issues of national importance. Reports recall that Mr. Malami had, during the State House ministerial briefing organized by the Presidential Communication Team, alleged that the governors originally created a liability whose payment had also been indemnified. Governor Fayemi, who read the communique, said the governors extensively reviewed the purported attempts by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Finance to circumvent the law and a recent judgment of the Supreme Court to secure the approval of the Federal Legislative Council to effect illegal payment of a sum of $418 million to contractors who allegedly executed consultancy in respect of the Paris Club refund to state and local government. Osho State government says the intelligence report at its disposal indicates that the ranks of commercial transport operators in the state have been infiltrated by some criminal elements who are attempting to arm unsuspecting citizens using motorcycles and minibuses especially. This is contained in a release by the Commissioner for Information and Civic Orientation, Mrs. Funke Gbemode. This was against the backdrop of video of a young lady who was fortunate to escape from kidnappers' den, among other criminal acts. The release called on residents of the state to be more security conscious as they move around the state, and especially avoid motorcycles, minibuses, and buses without registration numbers, especially at night. Citizens are also advised to report through the state emergency line all suspicious movement or presence around their communities or places of residence. It also urged various transport associations to dispatch their enforcement team towards ensuring the strict adherence to security and safety guidelines, rules laid down by the Ministry of Works and Transport. Specifically, the National Union of Transport Workers is charged not to allow any of its members to be used for nefarious activities that threaten the security of the state. Leaders of the motorcycle operators in Osun State have appealed to the government to help in enforcement of law by ensuring that those who refuse to put on the rider's jacket and present their identification cards are punished. Some of the leaders include Comrade Ajishefini Mukaila and Comrade Benga Jenifuja. They noted that it saddened their hearts that criminal elements have infiltrated the motorcycle business, which is serving as a means of livelihood for many families.
In contribution with the Osun State government and Ministry of Works and Transport, we have had identified uniform for each members of the union. There are 6 unions in Osun State. Each union has its own identification uniform. My own is orange in color. So it was unfortunate for us that our people, many refused to collect the uniform. Others that are collected, they are not wearing it. They just put it under the seat. And if the government can assist us in monitoring these people will be here, will be wearing it.
Our advice to member is that all this one that is already here, that gets ready, they should come and obtain it. All this one that is ready now, we advise them to come and obtain their uniform. So we now make a process for those who are not out by the government.
Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State has called on residents of the state to share and provide information with security agencies that can lead to the arrest of kidnappers and other criminals in the state. Akeredolu noted that exposing criminal elements within the state will help to check insecurity in the state and expose criminal-minded elements within the communities in the state. While speaking through the State Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mrs. Bamidele Ademola Olateju, he promised to give a 50,000 naira reward to anyone who provides information leading to the arrest of kidnappers and other criminals in the society. According to her, the move were aimed at encouraging citizens to give useful and timely information about criminal activities in any part of Ondo State. The federal government has expressed commitment to eliminating mother-child transmission of HIV in the country. The Deputy Director and Head of Treatment Care and Support Federal Ministry of Health, Dr. Clement Adeshigmi, made this known at the second scientific roundtable organized by the Center for Integrated Health Programs in Abuja. The program was themed Leaving No One Behind, Innovative Programs, Integration, and the role of big data in breaching subpopulation for HIV epidemic control. According to him, Nigeria has done well in HIV response, adding that some countries have done so well in terms of eliminating mother-child transmission and that no child should be infected again. The WHO representative, Dr. Oluwafunke Idesami, technical officer, HIV viral hepatitis World Health Organization urged stakeholders to support the government in the fight against HIV. The Bayelsa state government has revealed that 13 persons have tested positive for monkeypox in the state. The Director of Public Health in the State Ministry of Health, Dr. James Stowe, who confirmed this, said the confirmed cases were among 50 samples that were sent for laboratory tests. He explained that the infection of the viral disease could be transmitted from products of animals or contaminated surfaces to humans, also adding that the infection causes skin rashes that develop into bleed blisters and result in scars. They, however, said the state government had mobilized medical surveillance team to carry out active searches in order to mitigate the spread of the monkeypox infection and see how the spread of monkeypox can be controlled. The public health expert also highlighted the preventive measures to include proper handling and cooking of food, fumigation and setting of the traps for rodents, which he noted are major carriers of the disease. In an attempt to make Osun State free from pandemic and other environmental related hazards, dump sites have been created in all the local government areas of the state. Saeed Adeboje covered the flag off ceremony. Here are details.
The popular saying that cleanliness is next to godliness was put to play as the state government of Osun created dump sites across the local government that make up the state to correct the habit of indiscriminate dump of waste among residents. Speaking at the flag-off ceremony of the dump site creation, Special Advisor to the Governor on Environment and Sanitation, Prince Rufus Oyebile, expressed the state government concern on ways and manners people dispose their waste. According to him, the expanse of land to be used as dump site in Iragbiji is an indication that Governor Adegboyega Oyetola is committed to the healthy living of all in the state. Prince Oyebile noted that the state government could not afford to record another epidemic, hence it appealed to the residents of the state to take cleanliness of their environment as paramount.
The use and the advantages of a dump site cannot be overemphasized.
Sorry, we bring that report again. In an attempt to make Osun State free from pandemic and other environmental related hazards, dump sites have been created in all the local government areas of the state. Saeed Adeboje now brings details.
The popular saying that cleanliness is next to godliness was put to play as the state government of Osun created dump sites across the local government that make up the state to correct the habit of indiscriminate dump of waste among residents. Speaking at the flag-off ceremony of the dump site creation, Special Advisor to the Governor on Environment and Sanitation, Prince Rufus Oyebile, expressed the state government concern on ways and manners people dispose their waste. According to him, the expanse of land to be used as dump sites in Iragbiji is an indication that Governor Adegboyega Oyetola is committed to the healthy living of all in the state. Prince Oyebile noted that the state government could not afford to record another epidemic, hence it appealed to the residents of the state to take cleanliness of their environment as paramount.
The use and the advantages of a dump site cannot be overemphasized. Why? All the filthy things, all the dirtiness, things from the market, refuse that are generated in the market, refuse that are generated by our daily activities in our homes, when they are ably kept in drums, in cans, in our different homes, with the support of the private sector participation in refuse collection, the PSP, they will be brought to this dump site.
Speaking in the same vein, the special advisor to the governor on public health, Dr. Shiji Olamiju, the secretary Osun Algon, Mr. Oladosu Olubisi, and the chairman Boripe local government, Apostle Samson Oyebode, said that a clean environment is a safe one, calling on individuals, most especially the market women, to always make their premises clean. Sanitarian Olufemi Ola is the President, Environmental Health Officers Association of Nigeria, Osun State Chapter, while speaking expressed the readiness of its officers to ensure that people obey environmental sanitation laws to its letters.
Staff to give their ownership of dustbin in our various houses. Let us ensure that we engage services of PSP because it will be wrong for individuals to come here to dump refuse. So it's essential that we key into government's arrangement. And I want to appreciate the government once again for nipping it in the bud to ensure that once and for all we get it done. And this is not done here at Ragbije. It will go to all councils, all 30 plus 1 councils within the Osun State.
The state government did not stop at creating dump sites, as the special advisor on environment and sanitation, Prince Rufus Oyegbile, hosted market women led by Alaja Awawu Ashindemade, the Yaloja General, to a meeting. He told them of Governor Oyetola's decision to procure new skip eaters, just as he implored them to always engage in the weekly Thursday market sanitation exercise. The market women leaders, in a unanimous voice, pledged to support the state government at ensuring a clean environment. Saeed Adeboje, OSBC News.
Now welcome to our sports segment. Rafael Nadal, first match since pulling out of Wimbledon's semi-final because of injury, ended in defeat at the hands of Croatian Boma Krovic at the Cincinnati Open. Omotayo Adebodu has details.
Wolverhampton Wanderers have signed Sporting Lisbon and Portugal midfielder Matheus Nunes for a club record £38 million fee on a 5-year contract. Nunes has been on the record of many leading clubs in Europe. The 23-year-old, who was born in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, joined Sporting in 2019 and made 101 appearances for the club, scoring 8 times. Nunes has 8 caps for Portugal and is expected to be part of their squad for this year's World Cup in Qatar. His breakthrough in Lisbon came in the 2020-21 season when he helped Sporting lift their first Portuguese league title in 19 years. The transfer for Nunes surpasses the £36.6 million worth paid for forward Fabio Silva in 2020. In the meantime, Rafael Nadal's first match since pulling out of the Wimbledon semi-finals because of injury ended in defeat at the hands of Croatian Boma Krovic at the Cincinnati Open. The Spaniard, who is 36 years, lost 7-6, 4-6, 6-3 to the world number 152. Nadal has spent 6 weeks recovering from the abdominal muscle injury, and the defeat in the round of 32 match is a blow to his US Open preparation. This year's final Grand Slam event gets underway on the 29th of August. American Taylor Fritz, who Nadal beat in the Wimbledon quarterfinal, defeated Australian Nick Kyrgios 6-3, 6-2 to reach the 3rd round. Greek 4th seed Stefanos Tsitsipas won 6-3, 6-4 against Serbian Filip Krajinovic, while Poland's Hubert Hurkacz lost to American John Isner 7-6, 6-7, 6-2. In the women's category, British number 1 Emma Raducanu produced another eye-catching display as she trashed former world number 1 Victoria Azarenka less than 24 hours after beating Serena Williams. Raducanu continued her preparation for the forthcoming defense of her US Open title with a 6-0, 6-2 win in the Cincinnati. The 19-year-old played Belarusian veteran Azarenka just 18 hours after beating Williams, who will retire after the US Open. Raducanu will next face Jessica Pegula in the next round. Omotayo Adebodu, OSBC News.
Now to foreign stories. Chinese troops are ready to travel to Russia to join other countries to participate in the military exercise aimed at deepening friendly cooperation among the participating countries. Tafikat Abdulakim has the rest of these and more from our foreign desk.
Traveled to Russia to take part in the joint military exercises that will start at the end of the month. Moscow has previously announced plans to hold military drills, saying some foreign forces would also take part without naming them. Beijing and Moscow have closed defense links, and China has said it wants to push bilateral relations to a higher level, even as Moscow faces international sanctions and widespread condemnation over its invasion of Ukraine. Meanwhile, relations between Russia and China have grown under Chinese President Xi Jinping and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin, and Beijing has been under pressure for its opposition to sanctions imposed by many Western countries over the war. Shortly before the invasion, Moscow and Beijing agreed on a no-limit partnership. Beijing said its decision to participate in the joint exercises was unrelated to the current international and regional situation. Russia and China held joint military exercise in north-central China, involving more than 10,000 troops. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu praised the drills in China's Ningxia and suggested they could be developed further. Report from Afghanistan says a huge explosion has ripped through a crowded mosque in the Afghan capital, Kabul, killing 21 people, adding that another 33 people were injured in the blast that occurred during evening prayers, with the mosque imam among the dead. It is unclear who was behind the attack. A week after an Islamic State militant killed a pro-Taliban cleric in a suicide bomb blast in Kabul, the Taliban security forces have now sealed up the blast scene, as witnesses described hearing a powerful explosion which shattered windows in nearby buildings. Stefano Souza, the head of the medical charity Emergency, which runs the city's main hospital, told reporters his group had already treated 35 people, including children. An eyewitness said the mosque was crowded, the bomb powerful, and another cleric seems to have been in the set of Islamic State. The group, which has emerged as the Taliban's most potent enemy in the past month, 3 prominent religious leaders were targeted in Kabul, and there were assassinations in other cities. Taufikat Abdullah Hakim, OSBC News.
To end the major reports, here again are the main highlights. Nigerians have berated the federal government for allowing electricity workers to go on strike. Nigeria's Governor Forum has described as fraudulent claim by Attorney General and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami on payment of $418 million Parish Club refund to contractors. Osun State government has created dump sites in all local government areas. Chinese military authorities have indicated readiness for troops to participate in Russian military exercise. That ends the major report on OSBC TV. It was edited by Kayode Adebayo. Babatunde Bolatito is my name. Good night.
This August, StarTimes is giving the best packages to make your family TV time entertaining. Informative documentaries, chart-topping music, blockbuster movies from Nollywood, Bollywood, and Hollywood. Mind-blowing series, talk shows.
Now yourself, now you know.
For sports fans, StarTimes has got you covered. Enjoy basketball, football, Formula One, kickboxing, and more. And for cartoon, welcome to StarTimes Fun Space. Enjoy the adventures of Superman and the Justice League on Toonami. All-time classics SpongeBob SquarePants on Nickelodeon. Thomas and his friends on Jim Jam. This August, prepare to be mesmerized.
Star Times. Entertain your family.
Kétéńté ẹ̀kú àlejò afẹ́fẹ́ gbogbo olólùfẹ́ iléeṣẹ́ OSBC station ẹ̀kú àmójúbà ètò kan tó lálẹ́ wù lórí ẹ̀rọ mọ̀máwòrán OSBC.
Ẹ má ṣe dàdọ̀tí sójú pópó, ìdọ̀tí sínú kọ́tà. Ẹ má ṣe dàdọ̀tí sójú afárá, ìdọ̀tí sínú rívà. Ẹ má ṣe dàdọ̀tí sílé onílé, ìdọ̀tí sójú títì. Ẹ má ṣe dàdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣàmì lọ́dún èyí a ò ní rí ìjà omi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣàmì lọ́dún èyí a ò ní rí ìjà omi. Àfọwọ́fà ló kọnu ṣẹlẹ̀ oníyàlé. Àwọn tó kàn ló mọ̀ lọ́lá Olúwa ibi òní kan wá. Ìkìlọ̀ rẹ o everybody ẹ wá gbọ́ òwe. Ìkìlọ̀ rẹ o everybody ẹ wá gbọ́ òwà. Ṣé ti gbọ́? Ẹ má ṣe dàdọ̀tí sójú pópó, ìdọ̀tí sínú kọ́tà. Ẹ má ṣe dàdọ̀tí sójú afárá, ìdọ̀tí sínú rívà. Ẹ má ṣe dàdọ̀tí sílé onílé, ìdọ̀tí sójú títì. Ẹ má ṣe dàdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá.
Ti kéde pé wọ́n ń wá arábìnrin Fọláṣadé Sànúsí. Arábìnrin Fọláṣadé Sànúsí ló ń gbé ní Onward area Ògolúwa lóṣogbo kí wọ́n tó lọ máa gbé ní ìpínlẹ̀ Èkó láti bí ọdún kan sẹ́yìn. Ẹni 60 ọdún ni wọ́n. Ìlú Èkó ni wọ́n ti jáde kúrò nílé tí wọn ò sì padà wálé mọ́. Àwọn kan tiẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn ṣalábàápàdé arábìnrin Fọláṣadé Sànúsí ní oríta Sábó Òṣogbo. Ó dúdú. Ìgbà tí wọ́n sì rí gbẹ̀yìn, aṣọ aláwọ̀ ewé ni màmá wọ̀ jáde kúrò nílé. Wọ́n ga ní ìwọ̀n ẹsẹ̀ bàtà 6. Iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá wá rọ ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá ṣalábàápàdé màmá Fọláṣadé Sànúsí kí ó jọ̀wọ́ bá wa fi tó iléeṣẹ́ ọlọ́pàá tó bá wà nítòsí létí tàbí kí wọ́n pe ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ yìí 08060914516 tàbí 08034108010. Ẹ sì tún lè pè sórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ 08035701887. Ẹbí wa kò ní sọnù o. Olùkéde Abíọ́dún Sànúsí.
Ìdọ̀tí sójú títì. Ẹ má ṣe dàdọ̀tí sójú àgbàrá. Ìmọ́tótó borí àrùn mọ́lẹ̀, bọ́yẹ ṣe borí ooru.
ẹ̀kú àmójúbà ètò kan tó lálẹ́ wù lórí ẹ̀rọ mọ̀máwòrán OSBC. Obìnrin wòlíì ta ló sọ wípé obìnrin ò kí sọmọ, kí lọkùnrin ṣe tóbìnrin ò lè ṣe. Ipò wo ló yẹ kóbìnrin ó wà nínú ilé ọkọ? Kí ni ẹ̀tọ́ obìnrin nínú ilé àti àwùjọ wà? Ọ̀nà wo lobìnrin fi lè máa ṣiṣẹ́ tí ó sì máa tọ́jú ẹbí tí kò sì ní gbà kan lára? Ìjẹ́ obìnrin ní àṣẹ àti àǹfààní láti di ipò aṣíwájú mú gẹ́gẹ́ bí ipò òṣèlú láwùjọ wà? Gbogbo onírúurú ìbéèrè bí àti ìdáhùn tó gbọngbẹ́ ni ó máa jẹyọ lórí ètò tá a pè ní Obìnrin Wòlíì. Níbi tá a ti máa gba àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tí wọ́n lọ́gbọ́n lórí bí aṣarun lálejò lórí ìkànnì yìí OSBC television station.
Ní gbogbo ibi tí afẹ́fẹ́ ìkànnì yìí ń fẹ́ dé, kò sílẹ̀ wà ní àbí lọ́nà tó jìn. A kí yín kú dédé àsìkò yìí.